You are as guilty as they are because you were an essential part of that crime. When you went to spend that blood money on sneakers and jerseys, you revealed to the court the value you place on the human life that was taken.
Dedrick Williams was in a Broward County courtroom for violating his probation in a previous grand theft charge. He is also charged with the murder of rapper XXXTentacion. Detectives say Williams killed the rapper as he left a motorsports store in Deerfield Beach.
And at the conclusion of this evidence, you'll find that Dedrick Williams, Michael Boatwright, and Trayvon Newsom are guilty of first-degree murder and guilty of armed robbery in this case.
The trial of 3 men for the murder of rapper XXXTentacion.
I'm literally shaking right now because one of the convicted killers, Dedrick Williams, is throwing Drake's name into this whole mess. I know. It sounds absolutely insane, but just wait until you hear the mind-blowing evidence they're presenting in court. Get ready because we're about to dive deep into these shocking allegations that could potentially destroy one of hip-hop's biggest names. Let me give you the full tea about how this all started. So picture this. J. Dwayne Ricardo Onfroy, better known to all of us as XXXTentacion, was this incredible young talent born on January 23rd, 1998 in Florida. This amazing soul absolutely dominated the music industry with his unique emo-style rap that had everyone completely obsessed. His personality, absolutely magnetic. And those hits like Moonlight and Look at Me, pure fire. Now I'll be honest, our boy X wasn't exactly a saint. He had his fair share of drama with the law, but that's what made him so real, you know. The young people absolutely adored him because he was just different. He got them in a way no one else could. But here comes the part that still breaks my heart. His rising star was brutally snuffed out on that terrible day, June 18th, 2018. X had just withdrawn $50,000 from the bank and was leaving a motorcycle dealership in Deerfield Beach, Florida with his friend. The security cameras caught everything. This SUV just blocks their path out of nowhere. And then 2 armed men jumped out. There was this horrible confrontation and they just shot him and took the money.
Surveillance cameras captured the ambush of rapper XXXTentacion as he prepared to leave a Deerfield Beach motorcycle dealership last June. The cameras show a vehicle block the rapper's exit, and then men jump out of the vehicle and confront XXXTentacion.
God, it still hurts to talk about this. He was only 20 years old, you guys. 20! Right at the absolute peak of his career. Gone way too soon. And now, this appeal is being filed asking, is Drake involved? I can't even. So here's what went down after X's death. They arrested 4 suspects, and get this, one of them, Robert Allen, totally turned into a snitch. He made this deal with the feds faster than you can say betrayal, which led to the other 3 getting slapped with life sentences, no chance of parole. Talk about karma.
After Dedrick Williams realizes that he doesn't have a mask to rob people, what did you guys decide to do? Where? Who drove to motorsports?
But hold on to your seats, because this story just got even juicier. Dedrick Devin Williams, one of the convicted killers, is now filing these documents for an appeal. And y'all, the tea is scalding. He and his legal team are claiming he didn't get a fair trial, saying some crucial evidence was just swept under the rug. And when I tell you this evidence could shake the entire entertainment industry to its core, they just dropped Drake's name into this whole mess. And honey, things are getting messy.
Turn of events, rapper Aubrey Graham, also known as Drake, may actually be linked to late rapper Hassaf Onfroy, also known as XXXTentacion's murder. This may actually be more than just rumors. Dedrick Williams, one of the men convicted in the tragic killing as the getaway driver of the late rapper's death, is appealing his conviction after evidence was not allowed in court, according to his attorney, Marcicio Padilla, who is appointing Drake as a possible suspect. Williams' attorney Padilla argues that the jury didn't hear all the facts.
Poor Drake just can't catch a break lately. So, Mauricio Padilla, who's on Dedrick's defense team, spilled all the tea in this interview with Jesse Weber, and what he revealed, shocking. Get this. Before X died, he posted this super cryptic message on Instagram saying if anything happened to him, Champagne Papi, aka Drake, would be responsible. I mean, The tension between these two was already thick enough to cut with a knife, but that post, that was next level. And then X ends up, well, you know. Whether Drake was involved or not, this is not a good look for our boy Drizzy.
Prior to him being murdered, he had posted on Instagram, if anybody kills me, I'm snitching right now, it's champagne poppy. I'm paraphrasing, but something to that effect, right? So, imagine, the decedent said prior to his death, if anybody kills me, it's champagne poppy, which is Drake's Instagram name.
Now let me spill the whole tea about this beef between X and Drake because, child, it was intense. You know how these young, hungry artists sometimes start drama with the big names to get noticed? Well, X took that page right out of the playbook and ran with it. This whole mess started back in 2017 when Drake was on tour. He drops these snippets of his new track KMT, and everyone's like, this is fire. Everyone except X, that is. People started comparing Drake's song to X's Look at Me, saying they sounded way too similar. And honey, that pot was about to boil over. Drake tried to do damage control, admitting that okay, maybe the first two lines had a similar vibe, but he was not about to take the blame for copying anyone's work. He was like, I'm not that dumb, and I'm not that kind of person. Sure, Jan.
Drake, he was supposed to contact one of my managers, so he doesn't do it. That same week, bro.
Demon just got out of can. I gave my
I hear in my dad.
just got in my place.
Hey, can't keep my in my pants. Hey, my bitch don't love me no more. Hey, she kick me out on life, bro.
But X? Oh, honey, he was not about to sit quietly in the corner. He saw his chance and grabbed it with both hands. He went off on Twitter, saying Drake's career was over and that he better start investing his coins elsewhere. The audacity! But wait, it gets even better. X took it to another level by making this phone call from jail to DJ Academics, spilling all the tea about how Drake was playing dumb, saying Drake had actually reached out through a mutual friend and even gave him props in an interview. And then X's former manager, Adam22, comes in with the receipts. On the No Jumper podcast, he completely destroyed Drake's I Don't Know Him story, confirming that Drake's team had been sliding into DJ Carnage's DMs about working with X before KMT even dropped. The plot thickens. In the following weeks, these phone calls with DJ Academics kept coming out, and Child X was not holding anything back. He straight up called Drake a culture vulture who's always trying to steal from up-and-coming artists. And then he brought up the whole Drake and Dram situation. You remember that tea? When Drake supposedly lifted Hotline Bling from Dram, who was supposed to do a remix of Cha Cha with Drake. The shade of it all, and then X drops this totally random comment about how Drake should have shown up to his court date to vouch for him. Like, what even?
Even though Murd3r, I still think Drake, like, I think he's not a man. I think that's a move. Especially when I was in jail facing life. You know what I'm saying? If Drake would have came to my barn here, you know what I'm saying, that would have made my day. If he would have showed that he's a hospitable person and that he's really in this for the culture, rather than being taking my running off with it and then putting it on his album, then he would have got my kudos, he would have got my respect. I would have let him hop on the remix, take 100% royalty for it. I would have done it. Because I know I can maintain, you know what I'm saying, and I would have appreciated him for being a real nigga. Drake not a real nigga.
But hold on to your wigs because X took it to a whole new level of petty. He started shooting his shot at Drake's mom on Twitter, calling her cute and saying she could get it. I mean, seriously? And as if that wasn't messy enough, he repeated the same thing on Instagram Live the same day. The disrespect.
Hey, tell Drake mom I want some Hey, tell Drake mom I want some tapioca pudding. Tell Drake mom I like my pudding tapioca.
But wait, there's more. X just kept coming for Drake's neck, now calling him out for his fake Jamaican accent. He's telling Drake to stop speaking patois because he's not from Jamaica. Meanwhile, X is out here claiming his whole family is from Kingston. The cultural appropriation accusations were just flying left and right, and Drake's response to all this drama? Complete radio silence. He really said, I'm above this, and took the high road. I mean, I guess that's what you do when you're at the top.
And hey, tell this Drake, stop speaking patois. You are not Jamaican. I'm a real Jamaican. I'm from
Kingston. All of my family is from Kingston. Stop stealing my people's culture. Get the off our... We don't claim you.
This beef just kept simmering and bubbling, with other rappers like 600 Breezy getting caught in the crossfire. Drake and X kept throwing shade at each other, with Drake getting a little petty himself by liking this comment on DJ Academic's Instagram that was trolling X for getting knocked out on stage by Rob Stone. I guess Drake can throw shade with the best of them. Things finally started cooling down in 2018 when X actually apologized to Drake's mom for all those nasty comments. But, and this is a big but, he still wouldn't back down about Drake stealing his song style. He took that accusation to the grave.
I want to say this right now. I want to say this on this video. I apologize to Drake for coming for his mom. I saw you as a business opportunity as you saw me as a business opportunity. As you extorted the cadence from that song. I'm not going to argue. It is what it is, nigga. The cadence is exactly insane. And if I'm just an emotional then it is what it is. We agree to disagree like men, but I apologize because talking about his mom was wrong.
Now this is where things get super interesting. Because of all this beef that lasted until X's passing, Mauricio Padilla is trying to flip the whole defense strategy and drag Drake into this mess. He's listing all these errors that supposedly support Dedrick's appeal, and y'all, it's wild. The state apparently tried to make him strike off all his witnesses, which isn't even legal. And then they had the nerve to demand some kind of blueprint of his defense strategy? Like, excuse me? That's not how this works.
In December of 2020, I filed a witness list. The state's reaction to that was to file a motion saying, we want the court to strike all of his witnesses, which is, that's not even something that's legal or that you can do. You have to itemize who you want stricken. You just can't shotgun approach and say, I want all of his defense witnesses stricken, but the state attorney did that. In a hearing that I had to defend, myself to that in that motion, the court didn't grant that, but the court instructed me to file a pleading, which was the nexus in my defense witnesses and what nexus they had to my theory of defense, which I argued was inappropriate because at the end of the day, you're ordering me to give the state a blueprint of what my defense is going to be.
But wait, because this tea is about to get even hotter, Mauricio filed this motion to get DJ Academics to testify because remember, he was super tight with X and knew everything about this beef. There are literally videos all over YouTube of their phone calls. And get this, apparently, X wanted DJ Academics to post this absolutely vile picture of a Drake lookalike with, let's just say it was nasty DJ Academics refused to post it and actually warned X to watch his step because even though Drake isn't exactly a street gangster, he might retaliate. Talk about foreshadowing.
The court was fully aware of my theory of defense. Prior to that, I filed a motion to perpetuate the testimony of Livingston Allen, which goes by the name of DJ Academics, because DJ Academics was friends with X and had posted long YouTube, content regarding this beef. He actually posted YouTube saying that he was on the phone with X discussing the issue and the beef that he had with Drake, and specifically, X had either said or posted something about Drake's mom, and he had posted a picture of a Drake lookalike with semen on his face. And he wanted DJ Academics to post it on his own site, and he said, I'm not going to do that. And in that conversation, DJ Academics says that you better be careful because even though, and I'm paraphrasing again, even though he's not a gangster, you may be pushing him.
The drama doesn't stop there. Mauricio dropped another bombshell about this court date where the process server who tried to serve Drake showed up as a witness. They had this video showing Drake's bodyguards acting all tough and uncooperative, and, you won't believe this, one of Drake's employees literally kicked the subpoena down the street outside Drake's mansion. The disrespect is real.
At that time, James Beard, which is the process server that served Drake, appeared as a witness, and I wanted to show video that he took of the actual attempted service where it shows Drake's bodyguards or the people that are in front of his house refusing to cooperate. It showed one of Drake's employees kicking the subpoena down the road that leads to his mansion, and the judge didn't allow me to show it.
But here's what's really making my blood boil. The judge wouldn't even let them show this video in court. Instead, they're questioning why Drake needs to be involved at all, and then gave Drake everything he wanted. Squashed his subpoena, gave him a protective order, and even let his attorney Brad Cohen argue California law without having a California expert present. And then, just to put the cherry on top, they struck Drake right off Mauricio's witness list. Something's not adding up here.
The judge did a 180 from telling me to figure it out, coordinate it, take the depo, did a 180, told me, why are you involving him? Granted the motion for for protective order, granted the motion to quash my subpoena, allowed Mr. Cohen to argue California law without having a California expert there, and basically kind of chastised me about why are you bringing them into it.
Mauricio spilled some serious tea about why he thinks all this happened. He's saying the judge might be playing favorites because Drake is this super celebrity. I mean, we've seen this movie before, right? The rich and famous getting special treatment while everyone else has to play by the rules. It's giving very much rules for thee, but not for me.
I don't want to speculate as to why, but when you're dealing with someone like Drake, which he's not a celebrity, he's a super celebrity. He's like in the stratosphere of fame. So when a judge does a 180 like that, I'll let the viewers or other people figure out why they think that it happened.
And just when you thought it couldn't get any messier, the judge strikes off Jesse De La Cruz, this gang expert who claims he found visual evidence linking Drake to Robert Allen's organization, like actual receipts. He's got proof of Drake throwing the same gang signs as Robert Allen, and apparently, Drake's people were spotted in X's neighborhood making threats before he died. The plot thickens.
And the defense, my understanding, wanted to call Jesse De La Cruz, who they had claimed, usually claimed, discovered visual evidence that Drake could have had ties to the same organization as a co-defendant in this case, Robert Allen.
Yes, okay, so Dr. De La Cruz did proffer to the court everything that you've stated regarding the song lyrics, the fact that Drake was throwing gang signs that were the same gang signs that Allen was throwing up in different social media posts.
But wait, there's more. Cruz connected some very suspicious lyrics in Drake's songs after X's death. In XXX, Drake's talking about shooting below the neck, chills. And in I'm Upset, there's this line about Louis bags for body bags, which might be referencing the Louis Vuitton bag X had with that $50,000 when he was shot. Like, why wouldn't they let Cruz testify about this? Something's definitely fishy.
Because shortly after XXX was killed, the brief writes, Mr. Graham released a song entitled XXX with suspicious lyrics. SMS XXX, that's the only time I shot below the neck. And Dr. Cruz found another connection between the murder and Drake's lyrics in the song I'm Upset. The song I'm Upset contains lyrics regarding Louis bags for body bags, implication there being that Drake was referencing murder. But ultimately, Cruz was completely excluded from the trial, and the jury did not hear any of his findings.
I don't believe that was a legal call. I think it was error for him to do that and not allow us to put forth that testimony. And we put up pictures of Drake with Lil Wayne throwing up a Bloods gang sign and other evidence that Drake is out there flaunting gang ties.
The drama just keeps coming. Mauricio's saying the court wouldn't even let him properly cross-examine Allen. When he tried to ask about one of the guns used in the shooting, which Allen's father supposedly provided, and its connections to Toronto, the judge shut that down real quick.
Allen admitted that his father, known dealer, known firearms dealer, as the brief states, produced at least one of the guns that was used in this. When I asked him about his father and ties to Toronto and dealing, the state objected, and the judge didn't allow that question.
And then the state attorney messed up big time. They asked Allen about Drake being in Miami, right after Drake had been struck as a witness. Talk about opening a can of worms. During cross-examination, Allen's answer was that his partner checked social media to verify Drake's location. Like, seriously? We're using Instagram stories as alibis in a murder trial now, and none of this was even in their report. The shadiness of it all.
So it was a constant battle for me to try and basically do my job and show where reasonable doubt existed. With Alan, with Detective Curcio, the problem here is also that the state attorney, on direct of Detective Curcio, which was the lead detective in the case, she asked, "Do you have any information that Drake was involved in this?" And that was before the court struck him. So whatever reasons may have existed, the moment that state attorney opens up their mouth and says that, now he's really at issue.
So here's the bottom line. Loves, even though everyone thought justice was served when they convicted Dedrick and the others, this trial was messier than a toddler eating spaghetti. There are so many contradictions and suspicious moves that we just can't ignore. Drake might have dodged a bullet with all these convenient court decisions, but if this appeal goes through, our boy Drizzy might be in some seriously hot water. Did you enjoy all this piping hot tea? Make sure to smash that like button and share this video, and don't forget to stay tuned for our next video where we'll be spilling all the tea about Kendrick Lamar and Drake's feud. Trust me, you do not want to miss it.